Om Shuklam Varadharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarvabhignopashantaye Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Yena Aksharasamam Nyayam Adhigamya Maheshwarat Kritsnam Vyakaranam Proktam Tasmai Paninaye Namaha Vakyakaram Vararuchim Bhashyakaram Patanjalim Paninim Sutrakarancha Pranatosmi Munitrayam Vagarthaviva Sampriktau Vagarthav Pratipattaye Jagatav Pitaro Vande Parvati Parameshwarau Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Namaste. So get started with today's class, looking at Sarva Shabda, Sarvā Shabda. Right, this is a Sarvanama. This is a pronoun. Looking at feminine pronouns now.
Mahodaya,
Go ahead.
just one quick question. In the prayer, when you chant, the shouldn't it be samam nayam instead of samamnya? The way you say is a little bit different from what I think should be said. It should be samam nayam.
Yeah, I was pronouncing it wrong there. Yeah, that's correct. Samam Nayam.
Okay.
Samam Nyayam. Yeah, Samam Nayam.
Okay.
Yeah, that is correct.
Dhanyawad.
Sure. Yeah, I was saying that. Samam Nayam. Okay. So we're coming back to our Sarvā Shabda. We'll chant this all together. So actually, let's start with not Guru Shabda. Let's find it. I have it here. Ganga Shabda. Let's look at Ganga and then we'll go to Sarvā because they connect with each other. Okay. So Ganga, Gange, Gangaha, Gangam, Gange, Gangaha, Gangaya, Gangabhyam, Gangabihi. Fourth case, Gangayai, Gangabhyam, Gangabhyaha. Fifth case, Gangayaha, Gangabhyam, Gangabhyaha. Sixth case, Gangayaha, Gangayoho, Ganganam. Ganganam. And then seventh case, Gangayam, Gangayoho, Gangasu. He Gange, He Gange, He Gangaha. Okay, so we're waking up our minds with Ganga Shabda, getting started here. So in today's class, we're going to be looking at Sarvā, and then we're going to be doing some exercises together. So, but feel free to let me know if you have any questions in the meantime. So let me close this. So Sarvā. So we started seeing Sarvā last time. So Sarvā is basically very similar to Ganga. You just see the 4-1, 5-1, 6-1, 7-1 change and 6-3. You get, look, it's almost as if a sakara is added, right? So instead of Gangayai, it's Sarvasya. So Gangayai is Sarvasyai. So instead of Gangayai, it's Sarvasyai. So instead of, so first of all, that it becomes short, and then you add Syai. And then instead of Gangayaha, it's Sarvasyaha. So that's Sarvasyaha. And 6-1, Sarvasyaha. 6-3, instead of Nam, you get Sam. So Sarvasam. And 7-1, Sarvasyam. So it becomes short again, Sarva, and then Syam is added. Okay, so let's chant this together. Yeah, in 6-3 plural, it's long, so Sarvasam. So Sarva, Sarve, Sarvaha, Sarvam, Sarve, Sarvaha, Sarvaya, Sarvabhyam, Sarvabhihi. So this much is the same, right? Now 4-1, Sarvasyai, Sarvabhyam, Sarvabhyah. Fifth case, Sarvasyaha, Sarvabhyam, Sarvabhyam, Sarvabhyah. Now it's sixth case, Sarvasyaha, Sarvayoho, Sarvasam. Seventh case, Sarvasyam, Sarvayoho, Sarvasu. He sarve, he sarve, he sarvaha. Okay. So I'm going to just shift screens here. One moment. So you can open up your book to that page 111, which is Sarvā. And we're actually going to be flipping between that and the back of the book, which is page 181, exercise number 28. That's 181, exercise 28. So just looking at Sarvā Shabda, page 111. Right, there's some other vocabulary here that you had for homework to decline. So we're going to be looking at these as we do some of the exercises. So if you have any questions, you can let me know with any of these as well. Let's just go ahead and jump to the exercise and we can always come back. So this is exercise number 28, page 181. You can also keep your hand on 111 to help you if you need, just with some of the declensions. So 181 all the way in the back of the book. So when looking at this, we're going to look at number 1. So we'll start with number 1. So really what this exercise is asking you is just to add the pronoun inside of there, right? So you just need to decline it. We're going to take it a little bit farther for today's purposes to actually break apart the sentence so we get some practice with that. But this homework is really just asking you to place the pronoun in the correct case. Today we're only going to focus on Sarva, Eka, Anya. Okay, so then it says tad, etad kim. We'll take that to the next class. Okay, so just those three. Sarva, eka, anya. So number one, right? So first, let's just fill in the blank. Can you tell me in the chat what is 2-1 sarva shabda? So if you want to make it a, just you can do a capital A. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so, right, what is it? It's sarva, sarve, sarvaha, sarvam, sarve, sarvaha. So 2-1 is sarvam. That's correct. Sarvam katam vadati. Okay, so we always pick up the verb as we usually do. So we're gonna pick up the verb vadati in number 1. Vadati, this is vad dhatu, 1p, to speak or to say. Oops. Let me do this. Right, vad dhatu, 1p, to speak or to say. Now, right, this is our normal 1p dhatu. So it's going to be just like what we've seen. It's latlakara, kartari prayoga, third one, right? So first of all, we know someone says or someone speaks. So now generally we pick up the 1-1. Now, what's the 1-1 here? It's a trick question, right? There is no 1-1. You just see, right? Sarvam katam vadati. So there's no 1-1, and I actually don't even put it on here when I'm doing this exercise. We have to introduce a first case to the sentence, because the first case, even if it's not written, it's always implied. Okay? Oftentimes, for ease, we'll just add saha, which is tad shabda, one. Okay, so dakaranta punlinga. This is masculine. Okay, so he says. It can be savadati also when we learn feminine, but we haven't learned that yet. So we're gonna say saha vadati. So he speaks, or he says. He says what? So now we're going to pick up our next word here is katam. Right, this is kata. I feel like I'm saying it. A ending feminine, it means a story. Okay? Ramakatha. Now, the supratya here, right? We already know this. This is 2-1, and this is going to be karmani dvitiya, right? It's the second case in the sense of the object of the action of saying, right? Saying what? Saying the story or telling the story, right? Say, to tell, it's all very similar. Okay, now we only have one word left, and I took sarvam. Oh, I wrote over this, but it says he says a story. Okay, now sarvam, right? This is, we know this is sarva shabda. This is a ending feminine, right? Just what we've seen. This is also going to be 2-1. sorry, Sarvā means all, right? So 2-1. Now this is samanadhikaranam. So this is, it has the same case as katam. And often when two words have the same case, then they're going to be in a relationship called samanadhikaranam, right? Either it's adjective, substantive, or subject predicate. But let's just make it simple. Adjective and the word is qualifying, right? So sarvam, all or the entire, is referring to katam, right? It's an adjective to katam. So we're going to just say it's an adjective to katam. Technically, we can say karmani ditya too. It's cleaner if we just write adjective. So he says or tells all of the story. Or we can say the whole story, sarva katam. Right, the entire story. He tells all of the story. Let me write that in here. Okay, so we'll just pause there if anyone has any questions. You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yes, sir. May I?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. In fact, the way correct me, the way I'm thinking, the way I think is when we say a verb in the kartari prayoga, like vadati,
yeah,
we have to have we have to have a karta. That is why we introduce sa or sa.
Yeah.
Is my thinking correct?
So that is correct. Even in karmani, though, we still need a first case, right? But that first case will be the karma.
Yeah.
So to make the sentence complete, you always do need to find a 1-1. It'll make the sentence complete.
Okay. So in a kartari prayoga, it must have 1-1.
So there's always a first case implied in every single sentence, whether it's kartari or karmani. There's always a first case. But in kartari, the first case will be a karta.
Karta, yeah, okay. Then you want that.
Okay, so we're going to go to the second sentence. So second sentence, just note that down. It says, right? Kataha vadati. Oh, this is so similar. Let's see, did I? No, I think I chose actually number 3. Let's do number 3. Yeah, number 3, that's correct. Okay. Okay, so number 3, blank sanyaya nyayate. Okay, so blank sanyaya nyayate. Now, well, first of all, sorry, so number 3, we can fill it with sarva eka anya. Okay. Now you should do it with all of them. That's what it's asking for. So let's look at 3-1 of sarva is sarvaya. Okay, now what is 3-1 of eka? Can you write in the chat? 3-1 of eka. Looking good. Yeah. So I think, so it's just like sarvaya, ekaya, and anya, anyaya. Anyaya. So sarvaya, ekaya, anyaya. Okay, so become short, then you add a ya. Okay. So I just did it with Sarvā just for this one, just to save some time, but we can translate it with all three of those. Okay. So, so the verb is nyayate. Now, nya dhatu is so common, okay? But it's not 1p, it's not 1a. It's 9p. So that's just something to note. That's why I picked that one, just so we can note that down, that nya is 9p, meaning to know. Yeah, you can go ahead and mute yourself.
So here, Purva and Vishwa are ending pronouns, but it can be a proper name also, right? Because I know a woman whose name is Purva, and I know a woman whose name is Vishwa.
Yeah, those can be names also. Now, Vishwa,
So what happens in that case?
It's usually used in the sense of the world, right?
Correct.
Or the universe. And
Correct.
so that has a different implication than what we're using it here. But yeah, it can be a name as well.
Okay.
So I put the reference page 40 for Nya Dhatu. So this is Lat Lakara. Now, Nyayate, we have the Dhatu, Nya, we have a Yakara, and we have Atmanepada. Okay, so your mind should be firing. This is Karmani Prayoga. Third one. Okay, so now we need a 1-1, right? Because it says blank sangnaya nyayate. Okay, so we can add saha again. So what is known? He is known, saha. We can add a 1-1, saha. He is known, or sa, she is known. So we can add that here. Oh. We can add that there. So he is known. He, she, it. We can say tad as well. Tad nyayate, 1-1 nipumsakalinga. So sanyaya. So we're going to add that in there. So this is sanya shabda. This is a ending feminine. And this word has a meaning of name, a name, sanya. 3-1. Okay, so he is known. He is known. That's what we know so far. Now, I said because we're in Karmani Prayoga, I put Kartari Tritiya because the third, in Karmani Prayoga, the third case can be in the sense of Karta. But really the name is not doing the, known by the name. Yeah, that could work. It could work. You can take, I'm fine with Karane Tritiya as well. It's the instrument of knowing, right? A name is an instrument of knowing. It could be the by which it is known. So he is known by the name Okay, now blank name. Now we need to fill that in, right? Sarvā Shabda, we already said. What is it? Sarvaya. So this is Sarvā ending feminine. 3-1. Adjective to Sanyaya. So he is known by, okay, now Sarva means all. So I was trying to figure out how do we translate he is known by all name because name is singular, right? So I said the entire name, right? He is known by his entire name, Shivam Gosai. Or he is known not by Ravi, he's Ravi Chandran. He is known by his entire name. Or the whole name. Now, if we take Eka, Ekaya, then it would be he is known by the one name. He is known by the one name. What are some of that? Then Anya, Anya would be Anyaya, and that is he is known by another name. Another name. Okay, so what do we know so far? Sanya means name. Okay, we're learning some vocabulary. So let's do some practice. Eka, eke, ekaha, ekam, eke, ekaha, ekaya, ekabhyam, ekabhihi, ekayai. Nope, ekasyai. I was waiting for it. Ekasyai, ekabhyam, ekabhyah, ekasyaha, ekabhyam, ekabhyam, ekabhyah. Sixth case, ekasyaha, ekayoho, ekasam. Okay, seventh case. Seventh case. Yeah, ekasyam, I can see mouth moving. Ekasyam, ekayoho, ekasu. He eke, he ekaha. Okay. Number 6, we'll do one more. Yeah, well, we have time for one more. Blank chintayaha shochati. Okay, so if you can do me a favor, hit there should be a bottom, at the bottom of your screen, there should be a reactions. If you see that, then you can give me a thumbs up if you're going at a good speed. Or if you want to slow down, you can let me know in the chat. Okay, if you have a question, you can go ahead and unmute yourself as well. Okay, so it seems like we're moving at a good speed. If there's specific things you want me to slow down on, let me know. Okay, so number 6, blank chintayaha shochati. Okay, shochati is a bit funny one because shuch dhatu takes guna, so it's shochati. Shuch becomes shoch. So let's start that. This is shuch dhatu, 1p, to regret or to grieve for. Now, right, this is just like our normal 1p's. This is lat lakara, kartri prayoga, third one. So you can say it with me as I'm talking. You can try to go with it with me. If you're trying to take notes, yeah, and you can also say it with me. Chintayaha. So first we need to pause, right? Shochati, kaha chochati, who is regretting or who is grieving? Saha or Ramaha. Oh, Rama doesn't grieve. So we said Devadattaha. Devadattaha shochati. You can always add Devadatta. Don't feel bad about Devadatta. Devadattaha shochati. Devadatta grieves. Okay, Devadatta grieves. So we have to add that in here. Okay, I probably put saha when we translate it, but that's okay. So chintayaha, chinta shabda. This is a ending, strilinga, meaning a worry, right? Chinta, worry. So this could be 5-1 or 6-1. I mean, the sentence tells us what it is, so we don't need to be too worried. It is 5-1. Could be either, though. Now, 5-1 is a bit funny. 5 could be apadane panchami. It's usually the general one. Now, apadane usually means it's a place of like separation. He's grieving from something, but that doesn't really make sense. One of the meanings is also heto panchami. So it's in the sense of cause. So it's because. So I put heto panchami. So he grieves, or Devadatta grieves. Why? Because of worry. Because of one worry. Only one worry. It's singular. Ekayaha. Oh, I chose eka. You can use sarva. You can use anya. But I chose eka to fill in this. So this is an adjective to chintaya. Okay, so the sentence, he or Devadatta or Arjunaha, right? Devadattaha, Saha, anyone grieves because of the one worry. Now, sorry. Okay, not sure where it went, but okay. So when I was looking at this, I did remember that apadane panchami does have a very specific meanings, if you remember panchami, and I pulled that up here. That panchami, apadane panchami, can mean origin of action. It could mean a source of fear. So I was wondering if a worry is considered a fear. Because if worry is a fear, then we can use apadane panchami. But I think, I don't know if the scholars would say that worry and fear are the same. So therefore, safely we took Heta Panchami. But I feel like you can also consider it under a source of fear. That worry and fear are the same. So maybe it could be in the sense of Apadane Panchami. There's some other funny meanings that one from which you need protected from, or a cause of birth takes Panchami. And the teacher of formal learning is also in Panchami, Apadane Panchami. Panchami is a funny one. It has a lot of different in Apadane. But this is the source of action. But then you get some other meanings: a source of fear, that from which you need protected, cause of birth, and a teacher of formal learning. Okay, our time is up. We'll continue with, we'll try to do some Sandhi next time, just so we don't forget that we are also doing Sandhi book. And we'll also look at some more pronouns if we have time. Om Purnamadav Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Homework is to just complete these with Sarvā Eka Anya. Just fill in the word. So Sarvā Eka Anya, decline for all of these sentences. Right? Does that make sense? So for number 4, Sarvasya Ekasya Anyasya, I would put all 3. And then give a translation of one of them. Okay, you don't need to do the whole parsing. Just try to translate it. Okay, if you need to parse to translate, then that's good, but otherwise just try to translate. Some notes I put there, I'm gonna leave this up, number 9 and 10, Astatu. Okay, we'll come back in 5 minutes. Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question. I want to know if where